Hi there, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge flush mount leaf fixture. This is going to be the 126709. There's also two semi-flush versions of this fixture. You should check those out too from that leaf collection. Why don't we talk about the decorative leaves on the bottom of this to begin with. Those have been made by the same man at Hubbardton Forge for decades now. His son is joining him in an endeavor to create these same leaves into the next generation. We're going to take a quick look at that right now.
Well, somebody else had to learn them, and I figured he was the best one for the job.
Well, I feel all right about it, and it's, there's definitely a lot to learn. It's tough, but it's pretty fun, pretty interesting.
Pulling out a point now, and then he will blend in the weld.
We spend a half hour here, an hour there, every other day or so.
Now we're going to heat them up again and actually forge a leaf, but first we got to do a little hand work on them. And he's done basically all the leaves we've done. It's just getting more time and getting him doing it. It's going to happen because I want to go on vacation. I'd like to see the knockoffs that they make in China. I think ours are better. Without seeing them, I know ours are better. I think I can start taking time off anytime now.
Wasn't that great? So there's multi-generational families working at Hubbardton Forge, and that's how you get craftsmanship of this caliber to go down through the generations and through times. It's just a wonderful thing. Let's get into the size of the fixture itself, 4.85 inches, and that's from the very bottom of the fixture to the ceiling itself. Diameter is coming in at 13.6. This is only 7.8 pounds. It's very light. Canopy on the ceiling, that's the part that's going to go over your 4-inch junction box. This is what you guys have. That's coming in at 8 inches, which is nice because it'll cover up a lot of junction boxes that might maybe have some holes that are a little larger than normal around it, so you don't have to do any plaster work. But 8 inches is a pretty good size. Most of the Hubbardton Forge fixtures and most canopies in general are about 5 inches, so this is kind of a nice thing too. Why don't we get into a couple other quick little details, and I want to show you a little bit more information on how to do that is to look at the installations instructions now. If you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen midway down. You're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. So open that up for me. It's going to show you a full parts list. It's going to show you Hubbardton Forge's opal glass is going to be used on this. That's the decorative glass on the bottom, and I'll talk a lot more about opal glass later in this video. You're also going to see that there's a little bit of an optical illusion going on here where it looks like the decorative part of this is actually holding the glass, but in reality the glass is holding the decorative leaves on the bottom. That glass actually scoops up like a bottle and then into that canopy, and it's held by those little thumb screws you see on the parts list. And you're going to notice that because of all of this, heat can't really escape, and that's going to kind of play into what you can use for light bulbs in this, because on most of the other Hubbardton Forge fixtures, they're an open bowl where light and heat can escape, and on this one, it caps it, and there's a couple flush mounts just like this. It's also slope ceiling adaptable to 45 degrees. If you want to use this on the slope, you can without any problem. Now, let's talk a lot more about the lamping on this. It's going to be using two of these. These are just regular medium-based sockets, and when you look at the install sheet, you'll see how they're played on the side. So they're set up so one is going one way, one is going the other way from the middle. And you're going to be using what are called A19 light bulbs. So if you still want to stick with an incandescent, and that's what this is, and this goes back a long time, obviously, so you can only do two 60-watt versions of this, and that's because of the heat generated by this bulb, and we talked about what happens, how that heat is trapped by that glass itself. But if you want to do LEDs, sky's the limit. So as long as you stick with your A19s or whatever bulb can fit into this, and I know A19s will fit comfortably, LEDs are the way to go. So this is like an old school LED, the ones that have the white plastic covers on them. This is the newer version of LEDs, and these are the clear ones that have phosphorus filaments inside of them. So I can find these, you go way beyond the 60 watt light idea. As far as the light output on these, 60 watt equivalent LED, I can get these in a 75 watt equivalent LED, and I can get these in 100 watt equivalent LEDs, and I picked up those at Home Depot, and I got them in a 4-pack, and I thought they were a pretty great deal. But I've seen them at Walmart, I've seen them on Amazon, and I've also, in a couple times when I was scouting out there, I found them in 150 watt equivalent, but I know comfortably you can find them at 100 watt equivalent. That would give you the light output of 2 100 watt bulbs coming out of this. So all of a sudden, instead of just thinking about this in terms of 2 60 watt incandescents, now you have tons of light coming out of this. It can go in bedrooms, it can go in kitchens, it can provide a really beautiful light and light the entire room, and that's also a very good thing. Now remember, when we always talk about LEDs, we talk about the color of the light coming out of these things, because they're going to be offered to you in lots of different ways. When you go out in the marketplace, you're going to notice they're going to offer them to you in something called daylight. That's a super bluish white light, like a hospital waiting room or an overcast day, and that's going to be 4,000 to 5,000 Kelvin on that Kelvin scale. They're also going to offer these to you in 2,700 Kelvin, and that's a super yellow light, like a setting sun. So keep your eye on that one too. What we like to use in our showroom is warm white, soft white, and that actually is the same kind of nice warmth that would come out of an incandescent bulb that we grew up with, so that's why we like to use it here. A lot of people think we're using incandescent bulbs in our showroom, but we're not. We're just using these LEDs, but we're using 3,000 Kelvin warm white, soft white, and that's the light coming down on this table from these LEDs just above me, so just keep that in mind. And it's also a dimmable fixture without any problem at all. Just make sure that when you do look at that bulb box, or if you're online on the page for it, it totally says dimmable. I want to touch base on Hubbardton Forge's opal glass for just a second. So all of Hubbardton Forge's glass to begin with is going to be hand blown. This piece is hand blown first in clear, then they're going to come in and they're going to blow another layer of white glass on the inside of this. The third step is they're going to take and they're going to sandblast the whole thing on the inside and the outside. That's going to give you this beautiful, mellow, translucent, milky piece of glass. When you look at this, and you can see the layers are actually piled up on the inside of this. Hubbardton Forge is very obsessed about details on all of their pieces, including their glass, and that's why you're here, because you're probably just as obsessed about little details as well. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you are on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over in the red tabs with the pictures in them over there. You're going to see a Finishes Help Guide tab. Open that up for me. It's going to be a video there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes, how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a chart just down below, so scroll down a little bit. You're going to see a chart. You can click on that chart, so you can click on dark smoke, you can click on soft gold, doesn't matter. Big page will pop up showing you lots of different things in that finish. You can go back to the chart and you'll notice there's letters A's on them, letter B's on some of those things, and that's going to be showing you this range of variants that you can expect to see on different translucent finishes, but I'll talk about all of that in the video, okay? Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. And those same red tabs, you're going to see a What's on Display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus, you want to use the showroom anyway, because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case, and that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.